Hello, everyone. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate World Talk Radio Network, which is a subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Our mantra is to educate, enlighten, and entertain. The views of the guest may not represent those of the host or the station. And always consult your primary care physician about any health concerns you may have about your health. I want to welcome today Virginia Howery. I hope I said that right. A certified health and wellness coach, as well as business coach. And Jeannie's going to talk about her struggle with weight and tell about her and her husband's story. They both lost together over 160 pounds. And, you know, we just had Mother's Day, so we ate a lot. But before you know it, right, May is half over with. Before you know it, it will be barbecue season and a lot of barbecues, holidays coming up. And how do we maintain our weight? It's very important about our health and our eating. And I know myself, I'm 66, diabetes runs in my family very strongly. And I just found out that I am in the pre-diabetic range, so I'm now being more vigilant in what I eat and trying to exercise more. But I just really want to encourage the audience, be very mindful when you're at these barbecues and go out to eat of what you're eating. But I want to welcome Virginia Howery. Welcome, Jeannie.
Well, thank you so much. And that's Jenny. You can find me on Facebook and elsewhere, and I know Betsy's going to give you that information. But let me tell you a little bit about my story.
Sure, go right ahead.
I was one. Okay. First of all, I'm 78. Actually, 78 tomorrow. But
oh, happy birthday!
Thank you. But I had struggled with weight all my life. Growing up in school, even before I started school, I was the pudgy little kid, and it just kept getting pudgier. I can remember being on diets during elementary school, having the diet sheet posted on the wall in the kitchen, being teased a lot, you know, not just by brothers and sisters, but friends or people who I thought were friends. And so for me, it was kind of a constant struggle and a lot of yo-yo dieting. I tried many different things, familiar things to people, different pills, diet pills, just diets themselves. I had to go to counseling. I was taught Weight Watchers, some shots way back then, not now, not with this stuff that's going on now. But it was just always a struggle. Would I lose weight? Yes, I would lose weight, but I would end up gaining back more. And my husband had a military career, so most of his life he had to stay fit. He was out running with the troops and things like that. So once we retired, that's when he also had a struggle too. And at one point, we were blessed with the fact of our doctor retiring and having the option of finding somebody new. And my husband had a military career, but he was working in the medical field. He was a hospital corpsman, and he was volunteering at a hospital, and everybody liked this one doctor, and so he asked him if he would take us on, and he said, sure. And when we went in, at that time I was not at my heaviest. I'm 5'8", And I have been over 250 pounds many times in my life. I was probably around 220 at that time. But John was real close to 250, and he's probably 5'9", a little bit shorter now as we do age. We do lose some height. And so we asked about weight loss. And this was the first time he first of all showed us a picture. This was me 45 pounds ago, and I learned about this program from my cardiologist, and if you'd like to know more, I'll hook you up with a health coach. Well, health coach, it was like, what? We had never heard of that. Okay, and so this was 6 years ago, and it took us a little bit of a while to follow through on that. I was the guinea pig. I started first, and then John, after a month, said, whoa, I think I want to do this too, because the program included not just a health coach that you were staying connected with, but it was somebody who, we had an educational system, we had webinars, and this program had certainly a nutritional component, but it also carried you through. It wasn't just weight loss, goodbye, you're done. It was weight loss, transition, optimization, learning how to eat for life and longevity. And I thought, well, this makes sense. After all, if we want to work out at the gym and really work out successfully and do it in a healthy manner, we want to hook up with a trainer. So now as I think back, it makes sense to have a coach.
Yes, someone.
That was kind of to be.
I was going to say someone to be accountable. Yes, someone who can hold you accountable. Mm-hmm.
And not just accountable, but encourage you. And so this has made the difference, because not right now, within this month, I am celebrating the longest time that I have been a healthy weight. So this has been 5 years now that we have both been a healthy weight, which is the longest span I've ever been a healthy weight in my life without going back up.
Well, congratulations on that. That's very typical. And I think especially, Jeannie, back in the, way back when you were growing up, and there was the yo-yo dieting. I know my parents were on diets all the time. Different programs that they had back then. They might still have them now. But the yo-yo dieting, and that's not good for our bodies either.
No, it's terrible. It's really bad. And, many times when we go to the doctor, we get the 5-minute lecture of, oh, you need to lose weight, go on a diet, add exercise, and good luck. And they don't really help us. And now we have also, do you realize that over 25% of the female population under 40 are taking medications for depression?
Well, I could believe that.
And that it's just, it's a scary thing. We are allowing so many of these things that we're hit with today to affect us, mind and body.
Yes.
And we really have to work on our health.
Yes. Yes. And now you hear of celebrities and other people taking medications for diabetics to help them lose weight. And I'm not not a doctor, but I mean, me personally, that's not something that I would do. I'm not great with medications. I get side effects. My son is overweight. He has fatty liver disease. He lost weight, and the doctor told him just the other day, do it slow and steady. Better to lose weight slowly than quickly and gain it back. It's just changing, cutting out on things. And it might be something so simple as, what are you snacking on? And why are you eating? What is eating you? Is it the question people ask? And I think a lot of times people rush to food. Go ahead.
They do. They do. Food becomes their comfort, and that's why I was talking about the medicating themselves to numbness. And so many of the people who are overweight had other problems too, because they may have addictive personalities. And to realize that we look for things that are going to numb us or give us some comfort. It's just like, the alcoholics. Well, alcohol is sugar, right? And so we really need to kind of look at these things and think about, what is it that we're putting into our body? Is it helping us or hurting us? And for so many of the things, they are hurting us. And yes, there are these medications. Some people are using them. Some people are having success with kick-starting their weight loss. But those are not meant for people to be on for life. So we really have to learn how to eat properly.
Yes. And as you know, Jeannie, because you're on Medicare, when you're older, what you do in your youth will affect you when you're older. And let me tell the young audience out there, you want to stay healthy. You want to stay in your weight range, because as you get older and you eventually get on Medicare, there will be Medicare when you get older, it's expensive. The drug prescription plan is expensive, and so are the medications. So that's something to think about.
And we have, from 2000 to 2020, the obesity prevalence in the U.S. went from 30.5% to 41.9%. And obesity is the number one problem. Hang on.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It
is a huge problem.
And in the United States as well. But what I wanted you to know is that where we're heading right now, with this, is the expectancy. They're expecting by 2030, and that's only, 6 years away, for the U.S. to be 50% in the obesity classification and 25% to be in extreme obesity, which, we used to call morbid obesity. And we keep changing these terms. Why are we changing them? It's just like, you're very aware of diabetes. Well, type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes.
Right.
Do you know why it's no longer called that?
Because younger people are getting it.
We're seeing it in children as young as 4 years old.
Yes.
And
that is.
And talk about, I know you know a little bit more on this than I do. But I would like you to talk a little bit about the type 3 diabetes that they're recognizing.
Oh, yes. In some circles, and I have read that Alzheimer's is being called a type 3 diabetes. And there's a lot of information out there about how diet can affect your brain. And that you should eat healthy because it does affect your brain. And now they're saying your gut health also affects your brain. So think about what you put into your body. I know that, sometimes we do all cheat, fall off the bandwagon, but think about what you put in your body. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the processed foods.
Right.
There's pesticides that are on the fruits and vegetables. Not everyone can afford to buy organic. I know I can't. Wash your fruits and vegetables really well to remove as much dirt and whatever else is on there. Pesticides, insecticides on your fruits and vegetables.
And focus more on the vegetables and the low glycemic vegetables. More vegetables and even less fruit, but stay with fruit. And fruit is much better than fruit juice because fruit juice is essentially sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I have to say this too, Jeannie, that people don't realize this. Diabetes opens up a whole can of complications. And you can consult your doctor about this. I interviewed 2 doctors, I think it was 2 years ago, about diabetes. Can't think of the book right now. But you have to realize that diabetes comes with the complications. Heart disease, circulatory problems, problems with kidney problems, eye problems.
Wound healing.
Vision problems. So you really want us to be vigilant. Now, diabetes, as I said earlier, runs in my family. So I'm doing what I can so I don't get diabetes. Now that I'm in the pre-diabetic range, I really got to be very, very careful, more vigilant. My dad was diabetic as an adult. He was always overweight. My older brother was diabetic. He was always overweight. I'm not overweight. My father's family, his father's siblings, his cousins, all had diabetes. So it's definitely very prevalent in the Wurzel side of the family. My mother's side, they didn't have diabetes. So you really, you get complications, and you have to watch what you eat. My son has a friend who became diabetic in his at 18 or 19, and in his 40s now, and is now on kidney dialysis. But his friend doesn't watch what he eats. He just will not change his eating habits.
That's it. And they think that, there is a pill or some procedure that's just going to make everything wonderful. Just like this idea that was so prevalent not too long ago with, with having the surgeries for the stomach surgery, shrinking the stomach, that type of thing. And unless you change your eating habits, you're going to fall right back into the same type of habit. There's no magic pill. There's no magic bullet. We do have to change our eating habits. We have diabetes prevalent in my family. My oldest brother he's dead now, but he heart disease, as well as he ended up losing both legs. And, that was didn't happen all at once. It was a toe, a foot, etc.
Right.
And my other brother is in a care facility, and he's having difficulty with wounds and wound care and getting them to close up on his feet. So
yes, that's
things
that's
that
one
we
of the
don't
problems.
even think about. And the more that we can alert people to the fact that you need to be on something that allows you to eat healthy throughout the day, that takes away the hunger, but you're eating healthy. That's why I say to focus more on the vegetables, to keep that glycemic level low, and to learn about vegetables and learn about the carbs. There's good carbs and bad carbs.
Right. I do like my carbs. I'm finding now as I'm getting older, I don't like meat as much. I'd rather have my carbs than meat. I just don't like the taste of it anymore. It's changed to me. But I just getting back to like the mind too, Jeannie, the mindset that especially emotional eating. And I really highly recommend people go to a coach, a health coach, even go to for counseling and find out why do you do the emotional eating. We are taught, and I know you probably were from your age, we were taught to hold in our feelings. You didn't talk about our feelings. You didn't acknowledge how you feel. And I think that is so important. And I'm in the caregiving world, and caregivers have a lot of health problems during caregiving or after because they don't take care of themselves like they should. And I know that it's very difficult to. So they'll just shove food in their mouth. Me, when I was caregiving, I hardly even had time to sit and eat. But find out what is the cause of that. I used to see my mom when she was stressed or aggravated. My mom wasn't diabetic, but she was overweight. She would eat a gallon of ice cream and a whole cake. She would just sit there and cut little piece by little piece till the cake was gone.
Well, and the reason with that is we don't realize it. They've got the stuff in there, the sugar. Probably with that one, it's the sugar. We're satisfied at the moment we put it in our mouth, but we want more. We don't get the satiety that you get with regular food that satisfies the needs within your body. You're only getting the pleasure satisfaction. And we can't live on pleasure satisfaction, especially not in food, because it's coming from those ones that have high sugar, high salt, and they have the things in them which make us crave more. I'll tell you, the one thing I hate to see in the grocery store are these packages of, they're packaged snacks, but the label, the company is called Crave. What is that doing to our psyche and our kids? It's horrible. It's horrible. They are doing anything they can to get us to eat this garbage food.
Yes, or they label it as light, right? Light or fat-free, sugar-free.
Which means there's more other stuff in there.
Yeah, chemicals
to make up
that are in there. So what do you do to help someone, Jeannie, with losing weight and maintaining their weight?
Okay, so what I'm doing, I am a health coach. I do have a company behind me that I work with, and they have a 4-step program with the coaching, the community, because we have a private Facebook communities that we belong to, as well as there are motivational calls, 15-minute calls, morning and afternoon. We have a transformational system that's comprised of a couple of books that we work in. One is a resource. The other one is like a write-in journal. And if I could compare it to anything, it's almost like the 12-step program in alcoholism. So we do a lot of mindset as well as how is this affecting the body and what is our body really like, as well as a structured nutrition plan. So I meet with my people usually online, on the phone, on a Zoom, once a week and more if needed to support them as well. But my role is really guide and support. And that's what we need when we're doing, something like this. And we continue on through what their goals are and helping them with their goals of losing weight and continuing on their journey to optimize their health. I think that's one of the biggest things is having somebody you've gotten to know that you feel comfortable with, and they're not going to just say anything, but they are going to support you and help you to see what's my next step, what can I change in my life to make a difference, to make the weight come off or to increase the muscle strength, whatever it is that we're working on at the time. So we work on healthy eating habits, healthy sleep, hydration, movement and exercise, all of these things, as well as surroundings. Who's supporting me or not supporting me? And what can I change even in the kitchen? If I have to have the snacks for these kids or somebody else who is unwilling to change their habits, I don't want it right out in the front in the cabinet that I go to the most. Okay?
Yes.
So something as simple as that. We talk about and work on a variety of skills, but it's just, one little part at a time. But we do focus a lot on mindset and just the difference of being in a empowerment triangle, really trying to empower ourselves rather than being the victim. I can't do this because. We focus on I can do this, and here's the first step.
That sounds great. And a lot of people also don't know this either, Jeannie, that the more overweight you are, it puts stress on your knees and your joints.
Oh, yes. Yes. I am a prime example of that. We had a fabulous trip a little over 6 years ago. So it was before I found this program, and I was, like I say, around the 220s. To Rome and the Holy Land. And I started more than 6 months prior to that getting shots in my knees and hips so that I could go out and start walking and doing the exercise. I had to start in the pool first because less resistance, and was able to do most of the trip, and which was great. But, yes, it does put a lot of stress. We find that depending on the person, how they walk, how much weight they're carrying, it's at least 4 pounds of pressure that you're putting on your joints for every 1 pound of weight that you gain or 4 pounds that you're taking off. So if you lose 10 pounds, you've lost 40 pounds of pressure at least on those knees and hips. After I started losing the weight, I was still getting the shots. I got the shot after we got back first time with the just before I started losing the weight. And the second time that I would have needed a shot, like 3 months later, I was able to tell the doctor, it doesn't hurt as bad, so let's wait and see. So I was able to get away from the shots, and that was just the difference in the weight loss. I was able to go back and say, now I would like to strengthen, and he sent me to physical therapy for that. Now, I can't discount what happened because I put all that pressure on my joints for a long time. So I did have to go in and get the knees replaced. But I got through that surgery easily, quickly, got exercising back, and can move freely because I was not going to allow, with the pain and the bone on bone, I was not going to allow the pain to keep me from being able to exercise or line dance or do the things I like to do.
Wow. You are such a testament to perseverance, Jeannie, taking the weight off, helping other people, and you're 78 years old. So that is a great inspiration for baby boomers and generation below and above that. It's never too late to change, and you can thrive, you can survive, and help other people in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, and to have your health.
Yes, and we have people in their 90s who have worked with one of our health coaches. It's just been amazing to see them take off the weight and get healthier at that age. So there is no age limit.
Right. It has to be very, very gratifying to you to know to help other people. And that's just it's very motivating, very inspirational and motivating. Because a lot of people think, I'm too old to change. I can't do that. I'm set in my ways. But you know what? Unset your ways. I'm a Jersey girl. I'll just say it bluntly. It's your health.
Well, it's
your health.
It's your life. It's your health. It's your life. Do you want to be stuck in a chair all day long every day, or do you want to be out living life? I met a gal in a dress shop. We were just chatting and talking, and it was shortly after I had finished the weight loss portion of my journey, so I needed to buy new clothes, let's face it. And so I just chatted a little bit about that, and she was asking me questions, and I answered, and then she goes, well, how old are you? So I was 72 at the time, I think going to be 73, because I started on the journey at 72. And no, I actually started at 71. Anyway, so I had told her how old I was, and she goes, no. Yes. She goes, well, I guess I can't use that excuse anymore, because she was 60 and thought that I'm just going to be plump the rest of my life. I said, no, you don't have to be.
That's true.
That's what it's about. You don't have to be. Nothing is set unless you choose it mentally to be set, to be blocked.
Yes, that is very true. I used to tell my son, because he has fatty liver disease, the consequence, and to change his eating habits. And, as a parent, you could talk to your kids till you're blue in the face. They don't listen, but he finally went to his doctor who told him, I told him what can result from having fatty liver disease, but when the doctor told him, he listened, and then he wanted to change.
Yay.
And I said to the doctor, thank you, because what you told him, I've been telling him, but what you told him, he listened. Because there's...
I was going to say,
go ahead.
Unfortunately, there are many doctors who are afraid to tell their patients, you need to lose weight or start planning your funeral, because for some of them, that's where it's at. And they're afraid to tell them and really help them understand just what they're heading towards, because we have this panacea thought that I just need another pill or I just need this simple procedure and everything will be okay. We have to take responsibility.
Absolutely. My son's friend, he's waiting for a kidney transplant. He's only 45 or going to be 45. And yet, if he does get a kidney transplant, he's eating the same junk. He's going to be right back to where he started. Sad to say, if he doesn't change his eating habits. Not that I judge. I'm not judging. I'm not what you call fat shaming. There was a period in my life where I was overweight in my early 20s. But when I see these little kids, and I know people don't go out and play, the kids don't go out and play like they used to, like when I was younger. When I see a child that is severely overweight at such a young age and they're drinking the sugar drink, I just want to cringe. I'm thinking, oh, you poor thing, what the problems. And, folks, I'm not trying to scare anyone. We're not trying to scare anyone. But the fact is that the saying, you are what you eat, what you put in your body is going to affect your health. And diabetes has even been associated with vascular dementia. Being diabetic puts you at risk for dementia. It's a serious disease with a lot of complications. And I'll tell you what, I'm proud of myself. I saw a box of candy, of a candy that I really love, and it was on sale. I said, I'm not getting it. I don't even want it now. I don't even want candy now, sweets. That just being in that pre-diabetic scared me, and I don't even want it anymore.
Good for you.
And I not that I eat much sweets anyway. Excuse me. When we go to the movies, I'll bring a little, but I told Josh as I'm cutting down on that until I use it up, which I don't have much left. I said we won't be taking it. I can't anymore. And it's better for both of us.
That's it. When our health becomes our primary concern, that's usually when someone is ready to change. I got into this because I felt, how could I not share something that has helped me so profoundly? Like I said, to be able to not just lose the weight, but continue along on my health journey, continue to improve, and continue to have the daily and weekly support that I need. Because, I'm just as weak as the next person. So I need some of that motivation in there. And that's what we're here to do, is to help and support each other. And I just felt that, the gift of health is beyond any other gift.
Yes, and I have to say this. I say this about selecting, when people select people as far as like nurse case managers or geriatric nurse manager or a social worker in the field of caregiving, when it comes to weight loss, personally, I'd rather go to someone who has went through it and knows what it's like to struggle, because this might sound funny to some people, but when you see someone and you think, oh, well, they don't know what a weight problem is. They're very thin, or they're young and they're thin. They probably never had a weight problem, so they don't understand. When people who have had a weight problem, they understand, they can help you. They've been in your shoes.
Right.
And there's nothing like a person who has walked the walk before you, and they know how to help you because they know what you're going through. That's so important to me, Jeannie. Very important.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It is important because they understand your pain. We understand the frustration of, I've had people who have told me they've been afraid to fly on an airplane because they don't think they could fit in the bathroom.
Wow.
And that, that's, we don't understand, those kinds of fears. And yet, when I think, and I really do, many times, because I never really was able to maintain or stay at the same weight. I was always either going up or down. And I always thought, even seeing people who were much bigger than myself is, thank you, God, because but for the grace of God go I, because I had not learned how to live the healthy life after losing the weight. And so I have a lot of respect for the people who are struggling. And, it's my heart that if I can help them, because I know there's so many fears, and that's why I say the emotional part is part of it. Many times we put ourselves in what we call the drama triangle. And, with this, I can't get out, and you can get out, but you need some support.
Yes.
We can't do it by ourselves. And, like you say, you're talking about diabetes. Obesity, if we can get away from this obesity epidemic, because that's what we have in this country, 90% of the diabetes is curable if we could just get people healthy and eating healthy. Doesn't mean all of it, but a good portion. And, you have similar percentages with strokes. We just don't realize how many things are affected by carrying this extra weight.
That's true. That is very, very true. I remember when my dad, he had a modified Whipple procedure. He had cancer in the small intestine. And the doctor told my mother, the surgeon said, Howard is full of fat. Because that's where my father's fat was. He had a belly. He said he's full of fat. He goes, and if this graft doesn't take, he's going to die. Well, the graft did take. My father did live until he was 88. He was 69 at that time. It was, and he had trouble putting my father back together because he was obese and it was inside, full of fat. So it's very, very important. And you have a passion, too, Jeannie, that comes across of wanting to help people. And, folks, there's nothing wrong with saying, I need support. I need support with my weight loss. I need support with my mental health. It's okay. We all need support at some time in our life. And do what you can, to get yourself healthy get yourself to enjoy a lifestyle. You know, people are living longer, and there are some things we do have control over, and to a certain extent, we have control over. You know, we do have control over what we put in our mouth, but we can't control some of the things that happen. There's some diseases that we can't control. But if you know diabetes runs in your family, you know certain diseases run prevalent in your family, do what you could do to stop that from happening.
Absolutely. I have a client that's been working with me for over a year now, and she was told by her doctor that there was a surgery that she needed, and he was unable to operate on her because of that, because of what she just expressed about your dad.
Wow. Well, I enjoy talking to you so much.
Thank you.
Where can people get in touch with you, Jeannie?
The best thing is just to text to my phone number, and I believe you're going to post it, but let me go ahead and say it. And just, you know, say I heard you on Betsy. My phone number is 916-705-5930. I'm on Facebook as well. And I think you're going to share that as well.
Yes.
But it is, you know, facebook.com/Jenny08Howery, all lowercase. So absolutely, I'm happy to talk with anybody and just let them know more if they're interested or help them in any way I can. I just feel that the one thing that bothers me also is the fact that, you know, for the first time, our life expectancy is starting to go down. It started a level off in 2018. And our quality of life, yes, our quality of life has gone down for many people. And that was starting in 2010. Yes, we can live a lot longer, and there's no reason why we can't live at least to 100 and past that and be healthy. But we need to eat healthy and keep moving.
Absolutely. Well, it's such a pleasure talking to you. You heard, say your name again, your last name, Virginia.
Jenny Howery.
Howery.
And if you're looking for me, yes, on Facebook, it's Jenny, Ginny. So take a look. Happy to get to know some new people and happy to see if there's something we can do or chat about. Would love to talk with anyone.
Well, thank you, folks. All the information about Jeannie will be in the blog that our station manager, Jeannie White, writes, and Jeannie produces the show. And I want to thank Lillian Caldwell, who's CEO of Passion World Talk Radio, who makes this all possible. I want to thank you, the listeners. If you don't already subscribe to Chatting with Betsy, it is free on Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, to name a few. And share this show. You know someone who's struggling. If you yourself are struggling, share it. Share this information. I'm here for give resources out to help people have a better life, better quality of life, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I do by giving resources out to people, by interviewing wonderful guests who are wonderful resources, and I just am so grateful that I get to host my show to help others, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help others, and that's why there's Chatting with Betsy. And I just want to thank you all for listening. If you would like to follow me, I'm on Facebook, Betsy E. Wurzel, Wurzel. I also have a support group for caregivers, #Kick Alzheimer's Ass Movement on Facebook. And as I always say at the end of my show, in a world where you could be anything, please be kind and shine your light bright, because we need that now more than ever. Until we chat again, this is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a subsidiary of Global Media Network, LLC. Bye-bye now.